This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
So he bounces from Memphis back to world class, and he's working with Chris Adams again. And then he gets the big break that a lot of wrestlers were looking for in this era, a run with the World Wrestling Federation. He's going to sign with the WWF. He's placed with Bobby the Brain Heenan. So what could possibly go wrong? It's the Rooster. And as the famous story goes, I believe somewhere Terry Taylor did an interview that said that Vince McMahon and Pat Patterson and Bruce Pritchard and the like had essentially a box of gimmicks, and they had a character they wanted for Mr. Perfect, and they wanted a character they wanted for a Red Rooster, and had a character they wanted for the $1 Million Man. And well, Terry just drew the short stick. Has Terry ever talked to you about his discontent with the Red Rooster character?
Yeah. And he wasn't crazy about the creative, but he was getting booked regularly. He was getting quality TV time. So he's rebuilding his legacy. But he wasn't crazy about it. You couldn't, here's the thing. Sometimes promoters give talents a gimmick, a persona. And upon further review, these personas are never going to draw. They're a complementary piece to an ensemble cast, and never at a main event, or I say never, rarely at a main event. That was kind of like Dusty and the Polka Dots.
Yeah.
It's hard to take that seriously, unfortunately. And the same thing here with the Red Rooster. Terry got exposure. He got to work with some good guys. But the creative was just, it was bound to fail. It's just, you can't take advantage. I mean, maybe the kids might like it. I'm not so sure. I remember saying something to him one time on, where the hell were we? And I said to him, we're doing an interview or a commentary, and he was a heel. And I of course fired up on his ass. And I said, what are you going to do? Peck me to death? He can't get away from it.
Right.
He followed him around, and I didn't help the cause in that particular instance, but I thought it was a pretty good line at the time.
Tremendous.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Peck me to death if I don't stop? So anyhow, but here's the deal, man. He got a job. He's working for the biggest league in the game. He's getting a lot of TV time. And so he's got there's some good in this whole insanity, but not enough good to overcome the perception of being the Red Rooster.
Let's mention that in case you haven't seen the gimmick, again, according to the legend, he was in the running for Mr. Perfect, but he drew the short stick. He's going to eventually break up with Bobby Heenan. He's got his hair dyed in the middle and spiked up and cluck into the ring. And yeah,
hideous.
Yeah.
It was hideous for a guy that was a really good worker who had really paid his dues and had great mentors. He's been booked by Eddie Graham. He'd been booked by Cowboy Bill Watts. He'd been booked by Dusty Rhodes and Jimmy Crockett. Great pedigree. And then now you get your break to go to the big league, and this is what you get. Not good.
Do you think Bruce Pritchard has defended this for years, saying that he could have gotten it over? I mean, Mark Calloway got a dead guy over. Dusty got polka dots over. He could have embraced it, but when a talent doesn't go all in and is sort of half committed, it's not going to work. And other people, I think Jim Cornette and the like, have said, nobody could have got the Red Rooster over. And
excuse me.
I think Bruce even suggests that, hey, nobody ever told him he had to cluck and scratch around. He was supposed to be the cock of the walk. And that was instead his, interpretation.
Yeah.
What say you? Do you think anybody could have gotten the Red Rooster over that persona, or was this just snake bit from day one?
Well, get it over meaning what? Is that you're saying get it over to where you could be a main event guy? That's what I'd always look at. Can he be a main event guy? I didn't think he could ever be a main event guy as in the personification of the Red Rooster. He's playing an angry chicken. I mean, fuck, come on. Bruce is going to say that, Conrad, because he was part of the brain trust that came up with some of those ideas. He's defending his post. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't agree with it.
Well, but also too, and I realize it's a different era. Some silly stuff has gotten over before, and floated to the top of the card.
I agree. I agree with that, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe, which I don't have my ego's not so big that I can't admit when I'm wrong.
Right.
But I might be wrong on this deal. But I just didn't see a cocky chicken, cock of the walk. The cock walked all right. It walked right out of relevance, and
walked over to WCW in 1990.
Yeah. So it was. I didn't have confidence that the gimmick was going to get over. And again, I may be wrong, but I never saw that the Angry Rooster going to be a main event guy. I couldn't feel it.
Talk to me a little bit about 1990 when he does come over to join WCW. I think if you're not on the booking committee, you're at least in a lot of those meetings. Was there a concern that, man, what do we do with this guy now that the audience thinks he's a chicken?
Well, you get rid of the chicken image as quickly as you can. And to do that, you got to plant good now.
Right.
You got to go to a place now that I can get, okay, I can get this. And wrestling fans are very forgiving by and large. They like new, they like fresh, they like something different. And the thing about Terry Taylor, look at the guys he's working with, Mean Mark Callis, aka The Undertaker. He's working with Arn Anderson over the TV title. So the confidence is still there that he can go out and work with anybody. But we had to get him distance as far as we could, as quickly as we could, from the Red Rooster. And I think we did a pretty decent job of that. But then subsequently, some of those characterizations is almost like a desperate effort to make Terry relevant again, when all he needed to do was go on TV and have some quality wins, get some match time, so that they would see how he worked, how he told a story. But when you got so many cooks in the kitchen, sometimes it does spoil the stew.
How was his reputation amongst the boys? I ask because once he starts his WCW run, he gets a DQ win over Mean Mark Callis, who we know is eventually going to become The Undertaker. He's even going to feud with Arn Anderson over the TV title. He has been a polarizing figure in wrestling. Was that already the case here in 1990 or not? I get it. It's a wrestling podcast, but he's saving us money on our mortgage. Do you really trust this process? The reviews don't lie. 5-star review after 5-star review. We make it fast, we make it easy, and it's no cost or obligation. Give us a shot to earn your business. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did, especially if you like keeping more of your own money. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket. So what are you waiting for? Hurry to savewithconrad.com. Not so much.
Yeah, he always had an opinion, and sometimes he didn't survey his audience well enough to keep some of those opinions to himself. They were said to elicit an emotion. I think what it told me is that he's been miscast. He was a great baby face in Mid-South and a great baby face in UWF, but his natural personality is that of a heel. He's arrogant. He's conceited. He knows he's a good-looking man. He's got a good body. He can work. And he would tell you all those things. But I think he's better suited to be a heel. And that's what we tried to get done at one point in time. But again, when you just still half-ass an angle, you just don't get over automatically, obviously. But I thought at that stage of his career and his life, he would have made a much better single heel than anything else.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at savewithconrad.com.